Imagine the simple comfort of a kettle boiling, a sound that has echoed through countless homes for centuries. Its familiar shape, often a rounded body with a spout and handle, seems timeless, but its history stretches back thousands of years, through ancient fires, bustling trade routes, and modern inventions. This is the story of how the kettle began, how it was shaped by human needs, and how it grew into the tool we know today. We'll go slowly, picturing the people, places, and moments that brought the kettle into our lives, from smoky hearths to electric stoves. But long before kettles, long before even fire was tamed, humans were discovering how vital warm water was for survival. Long before kettles, people needed ways to heat water. In ancient times, as early as 10,000 years ago, humans used fire to cook and warm their homes. To boil water, they devised simple methods. Some placed hot stones from a fire into clay pots or hollowed gourds filled with water, heating it slowly. Others hung animal skins or woven baskets over flames, careful not to burn them. Imagine a family in a prehistoric settlement gathered around a fire pit. They drop heated stones into a clay vessel, watching steam rise as the water warms, ready for a simple meal. These early methods were the first steps toward the kettle, born from the need to prepare food and drink in a world without modern tools. By the time of ancient civilizations, around 3,500 years before our time, people in Mesopotamia and Egypt were crafting more durable vessels. They made pots from clay, fired in kilns to withstand heat, which could sit directly on a fire to boil water. These pots were the ancestors of the kettle, designed for cooking grains or heating water for rituals. Picture an Egyptian household along the Nile, where a clay pot simmers over a small fire, its contents bubbling as a family prepares a meal of lentils and bread. These vessels were heavy and basic, without spouts or handles, but they marked a shift towards specialized tools for boiling water. In ancient China, around 1,500 years before our time, metalworking brought new possibilities. Bronze vessels, often with tripod legs, were used to heat water or cook food over open fires. These were not yet true kettles, as they were primarily for ceremonies or cooking, but they showed how metal could hold heat better than clay. Imagine a bronze vessel in a Chinese temple, its surface engraved with intricate patterns filled with water for a ritual offering heated by a fire below. These early metal containers laid the groundwork for kettles as people learned to shape stronger materials for daily use. By 500 years before our time, in China, tea drinking began to emerge, and with it the need for better boiling tools. Tea required hot water, not boiling to bring out its flavor, so people crafted vessels with more control over heating. Bronze and later iron pots with handles for lifting and crude spouts for pouring appeared in homes. Picture a Chinese scholar in a quiet courtyard, heating water in an iron pot over a small fire, preparing tea leaves for a moment of reflection. These vessels were closer to kettles, designed specifically for heating water, and tea culture helped drive their development. No single person invented the kettle. It evolved gradually across cultures. In the Middle East, by the 1st century of our era, metalworkers in Persia and the Islamic world made copper and bronze vessels with spouts used for boiling water in markets and homes. These were carried along trade routes influencing designs in Europe and Asia. Imagine a bustling market in Baghdad, where a merchant pours hot water from a copper pot with a curved spout, serving tea to travelers. These early kettles were heavy, often requiring 2 hands to pour, but they were prized for their durability and ability to heat water quickly. In medieval Europe, around the 10th century, kettles became more common in households. Blacksmiths crafted them from iron, with a rounded body, a spout, and a single handle perfect for hanging over a hearth fire. These kettles were used for boiling water, making stews, or brewing herbal drinks. Picture a peasant's home in England with a blackened iron kettle hanging over a crackling fire. The water inside bubbles, ready for porridge or a warm drink to ease a cold winter night. These kettles were simple but sturdy, a staple in homes where the hearth was the heart of daily life. Tea culture spread from China to Japan and beyond, and by the 13th century, it reached Europe through trade routes like the Silk Road. Kettles became essential for preparing tea, especially in wealthier homes. In Europe, silversmiths began crafting ornate kettles from silver or copper for the rich, often with decorative handles and spouts. Imagine a noble's dining hall in 15th century Italy, where a polished silver kettle sits on a table, its spout steaming as servants pour hot water for tea or spiced wine. These luxury kettles were status symbols, but simpler iron versions remained common for ordinary people. By the 17th century, kettles were a key part of daily life across Europe and Asia. In England, tea drinking grew popular, especially after a Portuguese princess married the king in 1662 and brought her love of tea to the court. Kettles, now often made of brass or copper, were designed with wider bases to heat faster on hearth fires. Picture a London tea shop, its shelves lined with brass kettles, each one simmering to serve customers their daily brew. The kettle's shape, rounded with a spout and handle, became standardized, making it easier to pour and handle. In colonial America, starting in the 17th century, settlers brought kettles from Europe or made their own. Iron kettles were common in frontier homes, used over open fires for cooking and water heating. Imagine a log cabin in early America where a family gathers around a hearth, an iron kettle steaming as they prepare tea or soup. These kettles were heavy but vital, often passed down through generations. As trade grew, copper kettles from England became popular in wealthier colonial homes, valued for their even heating. The 19th century brought big changes with the Industrial Revolution. Factories in England and the United States began mass-producing kettles from cast iron and later steel, making them cheaper and more accessible. New designs, like flat-bottomed kettles for stovetops, replaced older models meant for hanging. Imagine a factory in Sheffield, England, where workers mold rows of shiny steel kettles ready to ship to homes across the world. These kettles were durable, with spouts designed for smooth pouring, and they became a fixture in every kitchen. The biggest leap came with electricity in the late 19th century. In 1891, an American company introduced one of the first electric kettles, though early models were slow and inefficient. By 1921, an improved electric kettle was patented, and in 1922, a company in England produced a model with a heating element inside, making it faster and safer. Picture a 1920s kitchen in London, where a family marvels at their new electric kettle, boiling water in minutes without a fire. These early electric kettles were expensive, but they marked the start of a new era. By the mid-20th century, electric kettles became more common, especially after World War II, when household electricity spread. A company in England introduced innovations, like a 1955 kettle with an automatic shutoff, which stopped boiling when the water reached the right temperature. Imagine a bustling 1950s home where a mother plugs in a shiny electric kettle, its red light glowing as it hums, ready to make tea for guests. These kettles were made of stainless steel or aluminum, lightweight and easy to clean, and they transformed daily routines. In the 20th century, kettles also spread globally through trade and cultural exchange. In Japan, traditional iron kettles called tetsubin were used for tea ceremonies, while modern electric kettles became popular in urban homes. In India, kettles boiled water for chai, a spice tea that became a cultural staple. Picture a street vendor in Mumbai pouring steaming chai from a steel kettle into small cups, the aroma filling the air. Kettles, whether traditional or electric, adapted to each culture's needs, from brewing coffee in South America to making instant noodles in Asia. Today, kettles are found in nearly every home, From simple stovetop models to sleek electric ones with temperature controls and digital displays. Plastic, stainless steel, and glass kettles cater to different tastes, while cordless designs make them easy to use. The electric kettle, now a kitchen essential, boils water faster than ever, saving time for busy lives. Imagine a modern apartment where a glass electric kettle glows blue as it heats water for a morning coffee, its whistle replaced by a quiet beep. The kettle's history is not the work of one inventor, but of many hands across time. Ancient potters in Mesopotamia, metalworkers in China, blacksmiths in medieval Europe, and engineers in the electric age. From clay pots over fires to electric models on countertops, the kettle evolved to meet the need for hot water, shaping tea culture, cooking, and daily rituals. Its story is one of small improvements, each making life a little easier. Think of a kettle in your kitchen, its steam rising as it boils. Picture the ancient fires, the bronze vessels, the iron pots, and the electric hum that brought it to today. The kettle's history is quiet but profound, a tale of human ingenuity, one pour at a time.